All right, gentlemen, I already have explained it to you. I want a good, clean fight. Touch him up. Touch him up. Obey my commands at all times. Have a good, clean fight. Go back to your corner, gentlemen.
Atlantic City sent off the Miss America pageant packing to Las Vegas, but they kept Arturo Gatti.
Because he's prettier?
In their eyes, yes.
Physically, looking at the two of them, Arturo seems to be just as strong as Damgaard off the bat.
Damgaard is a southpaw.
Which may create some obstacles for Gatti if, in fact, he does want to employ the jab as his be-all and end-all here tonight. And Arturo starts the fight by throwing 6, 7, 8 straight jabs, none of which reached the target. Referee Lindsey Page, aware of the potential headbutt situation, which is always a part of a southpaw versus conventional fighter confrontation, particularly if you got two warriors who tend to go forward like this.
Yeah, but Damgaard has not thrown one punch yet.
Now Damgaard starts to release the right hand and pounds the right hand to Gatti's body after having verbally implored Gatti to come forward and fight with him.
Well, he said that he wanted to try to get Gatti into a slugfest and not let him box. He felt it would be more to his advantage.
There's Arturo's money punch. Left hook to the body, landed. Gatti targeting a right hand against Damgaard. As is the case when you're fighting against a southpaw, the right hand straight up the chute can be a useful weapon, and Gatti seems to be seeing the target that way already. And there's a right hand to the body that lands perfectly.
Well, Damgaard seems to be very much on a defensive fighter, just keeping his hands very close, trying to crowd and get close to Gatti and force him into a slugfest.
Left hook to the body, left hook to the body again. Because Damgaard fights in the southpaw stance. When he turns his shoulder forward toward Arturo, it brings the target for that left hook to the body very close.
Damgaard holds his hands high. That's the major reason that Gatti has thrown 5 or 6 effective body punches already.
Being an experienced fighter that Gatti is, you notice he's not throwing a lot of power punches right now because he noticed he hasn't got a clear target, so he's just using probing jabs, that's all, and occasionally loading up on a punch.
He also broke his right hand in the last 2 of his 3 fights with Micky Ward and has to be conscious somewhere deep in his mind about the possibility of breaking the right hand again. But now he switches to a southpaw stance, stays in the southpaw stance, and uses a right uppercut as a lead out of that stance, switches conventional, goes back to the southpaw stance again. Lands for Arturo Gatti. With those punches he's thrown, Damgaard hasn't been accurate except when going to the body.
This is the first round Damgaard has fought outside of Denmark. Not an impressive debut.
And when we go to Thomas Damgaard's corner, where they will speak Danish, our interpreter is Mats Flightly.
That's it.
Okay.
Are you okay?
Okay. Sådan. Leonard, kom. Sådan. Hør så med Thomas. Det er fint arbejde.
It's good work. It's really good work. You're moving your head.
Rhythm. Now when you shoot that right hand and when you come back with the hook, aim for his shoulder. Don't worry about trying to hit him in the head because he'll pull back. So just aim for his shoulder with the hook, baby. Beautiful. Nice deep breath. Nice for life. Very good. Very good. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Being that Damgaard is keeping his defense so tight, protecting his head, Gatti is trying to hit the only target that's available, that's to the body.
CompuBox numbers in round 1. Gatti 13 out of 69. Damgaard threw 33, so he threw fewer than half as many punches as did Gatti. Versus his 3 most recent opponents coming into the fight, Damgaard had been averaging 80 punches thrown per round. So obviously he fought the first round against Gatti far differently than has been his action profile in previous fights. You heard Buddy McGirt telling Arturo Gatti to be satisfied to hit Damgaard on the shoulder with his left hook when he throws it. Why is that, Manny?
Well, because he feels that he's going to start bidding down as he starts a punch, and he might catch him where the shoulder is. The head would be there by the time that the punch lands. Because every time you start a punch, Damgaard starts dropping underneath the punches usually. Very seldom pulling back.
Damgaard lands a straight left hand, momentarily backs Gatti up. Gatti was focusing to the body. Now Gatti fires a straight right hand upstairs and lands his own. Damgaard starting to become much busier now as he flicks the jab out, and looks to try to get in another body shot.
And as he becomes busier, he's going to leave himself open, possibly for a little short right hand right through the center.
Gatti still focusing on the body. Right hand to the body, left hand to the body. Now the right uppercut lands flush. Damgaard fires his left to the body. Gatti moves away.
Damgaard is moving in, putting a lot of pressure on, but not landing any blows.
And now Arturo with a perfect right hand lead.
Arturo's fighting a very smart fight. Picking his punches, not getting too carried away where he'll burn himself out.
Working like a boxer, not a brawler.
A very, very smart fight.
Kind of fight he's probably going to have to fight over and over in the welterweight division.
And he's throwing his right hand the proper way when you fight a southpaw. Not loading up, just a little simple right hand. Short and to the point.
He seems to be taking those punches well. So far, that's the best you can say about Damgaard.
Gatti sized Damgaard up at close range for quite some time before he fired the left hook to the body that he wanted and then moved away. Damgaard going over the top, starting to unleash his own left hand more often, trying to get in a power shot. Gatti lands a left hook. And there's the left hook to the shoulder that Buddy McGirt talked about between rounds. And now that Damgaard is loosening up and mounting a little bit more of an attack, Gatti has more openings for his jab.
He's got more things to punch and work off of now.
Exactly, and he uses the jab to set up a right hand and then fires a barrage of left hooks and lands a left hook upstairs. Damgaard looking for a target on Gatti's body, can't find it. Damgaard continues to move his head a lot. Gatti contents himself with another body shot and then laces Damgaard with a series of rights and lefts as the bell sounds, and Damgaard raises his gloves as he goes back to the corner as if to say, I'm fine.
Well, maybe this is the strategy that he wanted to employ in this fight.
Can't ask for nothing. Only thing now, keep the left hand out so he don't come over your jab with his jab. Okay.
February 12th, tune in for Countdown to Vargas Mosley, a documentary-style look at two of the sport's biggest stars as they head toward their highly anticipated matchup. Note the start time, Saturday night, the 11th, 12:15 a.m., thus the date of the 12th. And on February 25 on HBO pay-per-view, the live fight, Fernando Vargas against Shane Mosley. They're fighting at 154 pounds. Don't miss it.
Okay? Like I told you, any movement you does, you freeze him. Okay, just stay focused, okay? Stay focused. Stay focused, baby.
Damgaard may not be a great Dane, but he is a tough Dane.
He's not necessarily something rotten from Denmark. Now Gatti switches to the southpaw stance again as we go to round number 3. Arturo simply switching southpaw against a southpaw to set up a punching angle, and he finds one right there. There's a perfect left hand by Gatti, and Damgaard counters perfectly with a right hand. Who has the bigger punch? The man who's moved into the welterweight division or the man who's been there his whole career? Damgaard having fought his entire career at 147 pounds. Gatti in only his 4th fight
and
at this weight.
What Damgaard did was perfect right there. He blocked Gatti's punches, and just as Gatti was pulling away, he come at him with those little short punches because he got his hand in perfect position to do that. Because when he blocks punches, he still keeps his hands right in position to execute.
Damgaard seemingly quicker than before now as round 3 begins. Perhaps simply an effort to step up the energy and be more active, or perhaps he's encouraged by something he's seen in the fight.
Well, you know, Gatti usually has to have a little room to punch. Not a lot, but yeah, he's a very good follow-through puncher. He turns all of his body through with his punches. But Damgaard shoots those little short, pesky type punches.
Faster hands for Arturo Gatti. He's able to land combinations while Damgaard is still searching for an opportunity to punch.
Let him go. Watch your heads, gentlemen. Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
Lands a left, far more active in this round than he has been in preceding rounds.
Yeah, he can punch out a little short distance that Gatti can't punch at if he can get close enough.
Let him go. Let him go.
Left to the body by Damgaard after he pawed at Gatti with a series of right hands over the top. Now the jab lands for Damgaard. Gatti has been considerably less assertive in this round than he was in the first two. Damgaard's extra movement seems to have thrown Gatti just a little bit for a loop. Straight right hand, down the pipe, lands for Arturo. He comes back with a left hook to the body and a left hook upstairs.
Gatti's a tremendous puncher. Damgaard is just really bothered with that defense of those little short distance punches. That Gatti's having a problem getting away from. He's cried them and getting those short punches out very effective.
Damgaard cuts the ring off well to stay close to Gatti, but he's just close enough to get hit.
Arturo Gatti, born in Italy, raised in Montreal by Italian parents, totally beloved in New Jersey.
Can I get the towel, guys? Get some air. That's it.
Can we have some ice, please?
Can we get some ice, please?
Thomas, det så flot, det du laver.
It's so beautiful what you're doing.
Det så flot. Klipper med den venstre hånd, hvis du kommer til det.
Get him with the left.
Han skal ikke have lov.
What you did in this round was brilliant.
Du er nødt til det. Få ham tilbage. Det han kan ikke lide.
These are the little short punches right there that Damgaard has been effective with and will probably be more effective as the fight goes on.
Maybe there's a different definition of brilliant in Denmark.
Round 4 of a scheduled 12 between Gatti and Damgaard. Harold, how do you have it so far?
You know, Jim, I agree with Larry Merchant 1,000%. I got to tell you, this guy's walking in, and Arturo Gatti's wrapping him with some tremendous shots. I mean, Thomas Damgaard, he scored a couple of right jabs. His left hand, for the better part's been missing, and Gatti's wrapping him with combinations downstairs, upstairs. Really, the really significant punches are being landed by Arturo Gatti. 3-0, 30-27. Gatti.
Gatti backed up against the ropes with a series of right uppercuts. Hammers Damgaard. Damgaard comes back at Gatti with a couple of lefts. Gatti sits on the bottom rope and smiles as he moves away.
I counted 5 straight uppercuts. I don't know I've ever seen 5 straight uppercuts before.
There's a little left that lands for Damgaard. Maybe Lennox Lewis did that somewhere along the way, maybe against Evander Holyfield in their second fight, but I agree. I don't know if I've seen a guy throw 5 straight uppercuts before.
Yeah. I wonder if Damgaard's face is going to bust up because his eyes and nose are swollen and reddened already.
But also you're looking at the cheekbone area of Gatti also. Left cheekbone.
Left hook to the body from Gatti, and now he comes back up with the uppercut. The right uppercut is making sweet music for Arturo.
Great combination. The thing is, Damgaard is making him fight still. After that, he comes right back with that little rhythm and makes him keep having a punch. He never stands back at a distance. He's putting the pressure on right away after every combination that he receives.
And Arturo Gatti twice shook the right hand, which is a potential indication that already he's having problems with the hand. Now he throws it again, continues to throw there. But in every previous instance when we've seen Gatti break his hand during a fight, he shakes the right hand in the glove. Little left hand inside for Gatti. Damgaard is coming and coming, becoming more relentless. Gatti uses the right hand to throw a body punch.
Yeah, but Damgaard is putting a lot of pressure on with those little short distance punches where he's very effective with, even though he doesn't have that much power.
Gatti still throwing the right hand. Hard to tell whether there's any less authority on it. Remember, he broke it in both the second and third fights against Micky Ward and won them both anyway.
Gatti taking a real battering here.
Those short punches are being effective because when Gatti's at a certain distance, he normally is safe because the guy can't hurt you. But with Damgaard, he can still punch at those little 6-inch and 12-inch punches.
Well, this guy is going to test the conditioning of Gatti by being so persistent.
And now Gatti backs him off with a right hand to end the round. As we go to Arturo's corner between rounds, we may get an indication of whether he hurt the right hand.
Okay. All right. No, listen, everything is fine. But this is what you got to do, baby. Relax. You falling into his plan. Stay relaxed. Just use your speed. Don't listen to the crowd. Okay? Stay relaxed. Get back to what you was doing earlier. Okay? Get your shots off and just turn out. Don't grab him. Okay? And take one hand and spin him. That's all you got to do. Look here, look here. Come on, champ. Come on, let's get back on track. Okay?
Here you see Gatti landing a series of right uppercuts, but they're not landing that solid. Most of them are grazing, and that one was on the glove. So actually, none of them really are landing that solid on the chin. But still, he's expending a lot of energy, and when he finishes that, Damgaard comes right back with those little short punches when he wants to relax.
By CompuBox count in round 4, Damgaard landed 48 out of 103 punches, including 35 of 64 power shots. It was a huge round for the Danish fighter. No clear indication in Gatti's corner as to whether the right hand is hurt. We'll watch to see if he continues to throw it, but remember, when he broke it against Ward, he continued to throw it.
Once again, as you can see, Gatti has a little bit punching room, but Damgaard is getting closer, and when they get in a certain distance, Damgaard is landing shots that Gatti can't. But Gatti can turn the entire fight around with one punch, as he's proven in the past, so Damgaard should never get too careless and too confident in this fight.
Is it possible that Damgaard has the sense he's the bigger, stronger guy, his welterweight career is telling, and he's getting more confident with each passing moment?
Yes, but I think the fight is going pretty much as he expected, though more so than Gatti. But right there, good example. Gatti didn't land nothing hardly in that exchange.
Now he lands the right uppercut, at least on the second try he did, and backs away. Damgaard's been tremendously active in the last couple of rounds whenever he gets Gatti against the ropes like this.
You know, and even when he gets hit, he immediately starts applying pressure. He never stands in one spot to give Gatti a chance to get much confidence. He starts moving forward right away. After every time Gatti lands a good exchange, he moves right into Gatti right away.
There's a blow right into the cup by Damgaard. Referee Lindsey Page did nothing about it. Gatti with a huge right hand upstairs. Backs Damgaard off. Uppercut again. Big left hook by Gatti. Damgaard lands a shot. They trade again at close range. And another huge left hook by Arturo Gatti. And another one.
Damgaard has not been in these type of dog fights before where Gatti has it. We know Gatti can keep going at this, but I don't know if Damgaard can continue if the fight continues the way it's going right now.
Well, and his face is beginning to show redness and swelling. You wonder who is going to cut first. Arturo Gatti swollen slightly under both eyes. That's common for him. No bleeding so far.
Damgaard seems to be slowing down just a tad right now.
They trade shots with reckless abandon. This is the kind of fight which has typified Arturo's entire career.
Next time I'm going to tell you. Next time I'm going to take a point.
Lindsey Page threatening to take a point away from Damgaard for low blows.
Gatti comes back in this round
with another uppercut to punctuate the action. And I have to believe, based on that round, that the right hand is not broken.
A little bit on the iPad.
February 7, tune in for the next Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Among the stories, a profile of Ozzie Guillen, the colorful and quotable manager of the world champion Chicago White Sox. What a manager.
Sådan, tandbeskytter.
The mouthpiece. Can you see? Can you see me?
Jeg ved, kampen den
Listen,
er hård, Thomas.
I know the fight is tough. Who did we promise? What did we promise when we went up here?
Godt, og det er dig og hele lortet. Nu går du kraften ud og slås for dit fædreland. Han er færdig, mand.
Damgaard is very effective with those short distance punches because that's what he specializes in. But I don't think he has that much power in his punches as compared to Gatti.
It's not a good sign when the trainer says to his fighter, "Can you see?" Which happened in Damgaard's corner.
Well, I see a little bit of the speed slowing down a little bit in Damgaard, and that's dangerous with Gatti.
In round 5, the two fighters combined to throw 189 punches. That means, as usual, it's worth the price of admission in Boardwalk Hall. Gatti again in the southpaw stance. We've seen this 4 or 5 different times during the fight.
Why do you think he's doing that, Emmanuel?
Simply because he probably feels that Damgaard is not prepared to fight a southpaw. Most southpaws hate to fight another southpaw.
For the same reason that conventional fighters hate to fight southpaws,
right? Because they're not used to it. Damgaard is used to fighting everyone in a right-handed position, and all of a sudden, if a guy starts fighting him in a southpaw position, it throws him off a lot.
Arturo switches back into a conventional stance after landing one right uppercut. Damgaard still throwing, but not throwing with the same vigor as was the case a round and a half ago. You mentioned the deficit in Damgaard power. I'm thinking if Damgaard had real power, he'd have cut Gatti already, because he's made plenty of contact.
But he doesn't punch with that much power, but it's the type of punches that can actually win fights and actually can get accumulated and can catch you and get you in trouble because he starts landing so many of them. And you think he's finished, and he'll still be punching.
Damgaard got in a good left hand. Gatti with a combination before he moved away.
I think it was a little right hand, but he's so close that Gatti's not expecting to get hit. He feels he's safe in those distances.
Gatti winds up and bolo punches Damgaard in the stomach. Crowd loves it. Arturo going to his footwork. Damgaard relentless. Coming and coming and coming.
Taking and taking and taking. And giving and giving and giving right here.
Wide swinging left hook by Gatti. Straight right hand by Gatti, thrown full force. Damgaard's got an excellent chin, at least good enough to take a Gatti shot so far.
Let him go. Let him go.
Gatti blocking body punches with both arms. Damgaard banging away. Gatti rolls with a couple punches upstairs. Gatti mimicking Damgaard's head movement as he faces him, almost as if to make fun of the Danish fighter.
Well, he is to Damgaard as Mayweather was to him. Too quick.
As long as you stand in front of him, if you're not punching, you got to move that hand. Okay? Nice deep breath. Here we go, one more. There we go, baby. Beautiful, champ, beautiful. Now you're boxing now. See, as long as you keep him in front of you, he can't do nothing to you. Okay? When he stops.
Prøv her. Han må ikke få lov at lege nu. Okay? Okay?
Can't play with you.
Han må ikke få lov at lege. Er du med på det?
He's not going to play with you.
Slet ikke. Brug din højre hånd. Brug den mere.
Use your right.
Venstre hånd overrasker med den. Klip den. Og
surprise him with your left.
Okay? Og ellers bevæg dig.
Believe in it.
Nede, bevæg
Move,
sig hele tiden.
keep your head
Men
down.
brug den venstre hånd mere, end du har gjort. Er du med på?
Use the left more than you have done earlier.
Halfway through the fight, CompuBox averages per round. Gatti 25 out of 79. Damgaard 31 out of 83. Damgaard landing more punches, but with less power, it seems, than Arturo Gatti. Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored?
Okay, Jim. 5 rounds to 1. 59-55, Arturo Thunder Gatti. Jim, I still think that Arturo Thunder Gatti is moving. He's winning this with ring generalship, tremendous punching. I mean, the hooks are really doing more damage. He's landing the harder, solid shots. Damgaard is aggressive. There's no doubt he's relentless. Gets on top of Gatti, but he misses with the left hand and doesn't have enough power with the right. 5-1, Gatti.
Gatti momentarily looked as though he wanted to throw Damgaard through the ropes into the lap of his trainer, Buddy McGirt. When you watched Manny Pacquiao beating Erik Morales, you were watching, oh, and there's blood on the forehead now of Thomas Damgaard.
Yeah, I think it's in the scalp.
There's a hard right hand by Gatti.
And Gatti acted like he hurt his right hand.
Absolutely, shaking the hand.
Yeah.
It looks once again as though the right hand is hurt.
Let him go.
When you watched Manny Pacquiao taking apart Erik Morales, you were seeing a trainer, Freddie Roach, who's made a very positive impact on the sport and on a number of fighters over the course of the past 2 or 3 years. In Gatti's corner, the same is very true of Buddy McGirt, who trains Gatti, and of course, light heavyweight champion Antonio Tarver and others, and has proven to be a terrific trainer after having been a very good prize fighter himself.
You know what's interesting, in both cases, they seem to have a great relationship with the fighters, in particular, Gatti and Buddy seem to have, I mean, of all of the fighters Buddy's working with, even though he has a lot of them, seem like this is the one that he's really connected to. And the same goes for Freddie.
Well, I mean, Freddie actually sort of violated the unwritten code of the sport when he decided to champion Pacquiao's cause in his disputes with managers and promoters, and took up the cudgel for Manny and actually took some risks himself to try to make sure that Pacquiao got the right deal.
Yes, and I feel that even though he's got a lot of fighters he worked with still, I can feel that spiritual connection between him and Manny Pacquiao too, and that makes a fighter be able to perform much better. And when Buddy stopped the last fight that Gatti had with Mayweather, it was very impressive to me that he didn't want to see his fighter get hurt.
Buddy said to Arturo Gatti, after stopping his fight with Mayweather, he said, "Arturo, I'm with you from the womb to the tomb." And I did that because it had to be done.
And he's did a good job too with Arturo's career. I think without him, I don't think his career would be around and would have been extended as long as it has been.
To be totally honest, if McGirt hadn't stopped the fight, New Jersey State Athletic Commission Executive Director Larry Hazard would have.
And he's known to do that.
Straight left hand lands for Gatti. Gatti may be switching southpaw and throwing that straight left hand power punch because of whatever trouble he's having with the right hand. Now there's blood on Arturo's nose, but I think it's coming from the cut on Damgaard's scalp.
Damgaard lands his share of punches, but he just doesn't have the power that Gatti has.
The mouthpiece.
Thomas, hør så her.
Thomas, listen to me.
Du her endnu, okay?
You're still here.
Sådan. Ved du hvad, du gør det kraftedeme godt.
You're doing a really good job.
Thomas,
listen to me.
Du er trænet til at kunne gå 40 omgange.
You're trained to go 40 rounds.
Han må ikke have lov at slippe ud af det her. Han må ikke begynde at lave til grin og begynde at danse.
This is for the championship. You understand? Let's go get it. Keep that left hand out there. Keep him in front of you. When he gets close.
Here you see where the two heads collide right there, and it could have been, the cut could have occurred just as well on Gatti as it did on Damgaard. Thank God it wasn't in a serious area such as the eye.
So an accidental bump of heads leads to the bleeding on the top of Damgaard's head, and you may have noticed in Damgaard's corner, the cut man giving him an impromptu haircut. Didn't need to go to Supercuts for that one. Power punches in round 7. Gatti 22 out of 35. Damgaard 11 out of 24. Damgaard's punch output dropped to 66 punches from the 80s and the 90s, where it had been in the 4 or 5 prior rounds. Perhaps Damgaard was a little thrown off by the blood. Gatti now seeming to hold the right hand back and use it sparingly. There he throws it again. Can't tell whether it's broken or simply bothering him. But frankly, when a fighter's broken his right hand as many times as Arturo has.
Yeah, it could have been one of those flare spots where you heard it from before, maybe just a nerve and maybe not enough to the point where it can stop him from punching. Maybe he's gotten over it, but he's been proven that he will fight even with pain anyway before, especially.
Gatti just turned his back on Damgaard there for a moment, which is the kind of thing he did against Mayweather, and Mayweather knocked him down.
If Damgaard was a big puncher, he might have done something with the free shot. He did make contact. Now Gatti slips, winds up in a conventional stance, throws the right hand again anyway. Both fighters look a little uncertain this round as to exactly what they want to do.
Well, but one thing that seemed to be pretty obvious to me that Gatti doesn't have too much fear of Damgaard's power.
Although Gatti fell into the ropes off balance when Damgaard hit him with a body shot there.
I wonder if there is any fatigue showing in Gatti right now.
There's a hard right hand to the body by Arturo Gatti. He reaches to try to do it again.
That's what those body punches were set up for. He tried to throw those uppercuts there to set him up and shoot it straight down the middle on the chin.
There's the difference in punching power, and now blood streaming from the mouth of Thomas Damgaard.
Break. Let him go.
Looked like Gatti may have hurt his right hand with landing that blow also.
Gatti switches to a southpaw stance and lands a left cross. Now he goes back into the conventional stance, throws an uppercut, and throws another right hand. How courageous is Arturo Gatti, as once again he appears to be fighting through the pain of perhaps a broken right hand and using it over and over because he has to win the fight.
Well, Damgaard is pretty damn tough himself because he's taking a woeful beating.
With an awed head.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Very good. Now, champ.
Hey, man.
I know.
I know.
Round 9 coming up, baby. Okay?
Round 9.
Just touch him downstairs. Okay, he's breaking down slowly. Drink this, champ. Okay? Drink that.
Believe in it. You're very close to win this. Okay?
Pres ham. Han kan ikke lide dem i sækken. Hvis du skyder ham den i madkassen,
He doesn't like the ones you punch to the body. Use the left. But be tough. You have to be tough with him. It's been more tough training.
Klip ham med den venstre hånd. Sæt dem i sækken på ham. Han skal bakkes op, og du gør det.
See, I know. I think that's a code between them two that his right hand, Gatti's right hand has been hurt.
Yep.
But they know not to say it because the commission may hear it and may stop the fight possibly. But it's pretty obvious that he signaled to Buddy that he has hurt his right hand.
I believe that is exactly correct. You're right. That's what I know was about. And the import of I know was be quiet.
Yes. But still, Gatti being the warrior, he still is going to throw that right hand.
Absolutely. Look at those left hooks. Those are classic signature Arturo Gatti left hooks. Like the one that starts Doroftei, or gave Ruelas, I should say, at a moment when Ruelas was beating him. Like the one that starts Wilson Rodriguez when he was blind in both eyes.
The thing about Gatti, he can punch with both hands.
Box, gentlemen, let's go. Do this clean. Let him go. Break.
Damgaard chopping at an open Arturo Gatti with the left hand, only landed a glancing blow. Gatti chancing a right hand to the ribcage. Comes back with the left hook.
Sometimes that can do more damage than a punch to the head because you're laying right on the elbow sometimes. And the guy's elbow, and it really hurts, particularly the right thumb.
That's how he broke the hand against Ward in one of the 2 fights. Damgaard lands openly at close range like this. You get to see the difference in punching power. Gatti's punches tend to move Damgaard. Damgaard's punches land on Arturo, but Arturo keeps on throwing.
Damgaard doesn't have any real snap on his punches. They're punches with strength and not quickness or snap power. You land enough of them, you can chop down somebody. but he's way behind in the fight. Does he have enough time to do it here?
And it's pretty obvious to everybody that Gatti has hurt his right hand now.
Arturo switching southpaw again, jabbing with that right hand, popping it into the mouth of Thomas Damgaard, but really opening up, trying to land some damaging blows with his left.
A lot of blood coming from the face, maybe even the mouth now of Damgaard.
Yes, I believe he's bleeding from both the top of the head and the mouth. And those are two good straight left-hand shots out of the southpaw stance.
We know Gatti is now fighting the southpaw so he can get power with his left hand.
Exactly right.
He can't throw the right hand. He just pawed with the right hand, and really his power now is, for the most part, with his left hand.
And since he's fighting against a southpaw fighter, it's an ideal way to set up and make an angle for the punch. The fact that he can do it is tremendously helpful in a situation where clearly the right hand is hurt.
He's got so much guts. It's unbelievable.
Gatti doing very little to try to get away from the punches of Thomas Damgaard, because by this point in the fight, he's determined he can take everything Damgaard throws.
Give me some ice. Give me some water.
Yeah.
You okay? Are you okay?
Thomas, hør her.
Listen, Thomas, listen.
Thomas, hør så her.
Listen.
Du er med på den? Hør, hvad jeg siger.
Can you hear what I'm saying?
Du er okay, ikke?
Are you okay?
Prøv så at høre her. Han må ikke få lov at tage pølsen af dig nu. Fordi det vil han
Don't let him get to you now.
Han tror, at du er træt.
He thinks you're tired.
Er du med på den?
Keep pressing him.
Flytter hovedet, holder de bare op, men du lægger pres på ham, og du slår på ham. Han vil gerne ligge derude og danse og tage overlægger på.
These next 3 rounds may be more crucial for Gatti than the rounds that he had with Micky Ward, because I think his hand is really hurt very bad right now. And on top of that, we got a guy who's putting a lot of pressure on him.
The 9th round was a brilliant display of punching accuracy for Gatti, who threw 93 punches and landed 55 of them, including 41 out of 53 power shots. And again, he's working with what appears to be a potentially broken right hand. Harold, how do you have it through 9?
Okay, Jim. 8 rounds to 1. 89-82, Arturo Thunder Gatti. You know, Jim, Arturo Gatti is a guy that bleeds on a contract. And you look at him, doesn't have a cut over his eyes, under his eyes, not bleeding from the nose. Thomas Damgaard can't punch. He's relentless, he stays on top of him, but that doesn't win fights. What wins fights is the hard shots that Gatti is landing. Gatti on clean, effective punching, 8-1.
Let him go.
Gatti may need a round off here in the 10th after having expended so much energy in the 9th.
This may be the worst he's ever had his head. I was watching, the cameras didn't show his corner, but I was watching entirely, and it's really bad, and you can see him just shaking his head, so he's in bad, bad pain.
He is discouraged by the pain in his right hand. But that's discouragement about the rest of his career, not about this fight. He's going to fight through the fight and make it the best he can. Switching to the southpaw stance, still throwing the right hand as an uppercut. Look at the guts.
Just in case Damgaard thought his right hand was bothering him, throws 4 or 5.
I mean, you just don't see it.
That one on top of the head could have reminded Gatti of how much his hand bothers him.
Absolutely.
I expect him to go southpaw.
Oh, and he bends over, cringing in pain after throwing the right to the body.
And hurt him with the right hand.
Both hands go.
And he hurt Damgaard with a short right hand.
It looked for a moment as though Gatti was going to go to the floor in pain after throwing a right hand. But then he rose from the crouch and fired a series of punches.
Well, either Damgaard is the toughest guy in Europe, or maybe Gatti doesn't hit that hard at this weight.
Or maybe Gatti doesn't hit very hard with the right hand when it's broken, and Damgaard knows the left hand is the money punch. It's hard to say off of this whether Arturo can survive in the welterweight division, Manny.
Well, it is hard to say, but his hand, I don't know if he's going to be able to continue to fight with much bigger, stronger guys that are bigger punchers, continually hurting that right hand like that.
What an irony it would be It's the career of the greatest blood and guts warrior of his era. A guy who has been noted for winning fights while cut, for winning fights while swollen and blinded, for winning fights from behind with big punches. If that career were foreshortened by a broken hand, it would be a disappointment.
It is a disappointment because it's happening so often now that I don't know if it can ever be correctly healed.
Do you want to continue?
Give me the Vaseline. Here.
Now listen to me.
He's going to give it all he got. You keep that head moving. Keep him in front of you. Don't let him get close to you. When he misses a shot, just spin him. Don't worry about trying to score.
Seconds out.
Right here, you see Gatti land a tremendous short right hand right after indicating that he had hurt his right hand.
You know, Damgaard is a fighter. He's a real fighter. He wants to go on with this fight. But when the corner starts asking you if you want to go on, maybe the corner knows that he shouldn't go on.
Well, it doesn't do much for your confidence, does it? When they ask you if you want to keep going. In the last 2 rounds, though, Arturo Gatti has been painting Thomas Damgaard with power punches. He's landed 65 of 89 power shots in the 9th and 10th rounds. 11 of 12. Arturo Gatti's got to make it through 5.5 more minutes with an apparently broken right hand. Damgaard holds behind the head and hits Gatti. And Page will now deduct a point.
1 point.
All the way around.
1 point.
Against the fighter who clearly was holding Gatti behind the head with the right hand while hitting him with the left. Gatti, while standing over in the corner, incidentally, got some instructions from his good friend, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. The great Sweet Pea, who's about 3 rows away, stood up and yelled to Gatti in the corner, and Gatti looked and listened very carefully before going back to fight Damgaard. That'll bring him out of their seats.
Gatti is still punching with power with his broken hand. It's unbelievable the courage that this man has.
You just don't see it.
Has anybody here taken an X-ray?
And Damgaard's face shows blood streaming from both nostrils and his eyes. Yeah, you make a good point, Larry. We could be wrong about whether the hand is broken, but we've seen it before, and it certainly looks like the body language we've seen before in that situation.
You can be sure it's seriously damaged, whether it's the tendons and ligaments are gone or whatever. But
can we extrapolate from this? Decide how would Gatti do against Baldomir, the new welterweight champion?
I think he would do very well if his right hand holds up.
Damgaard's face is beginning to look grotesque.
I think Gatti, looking at his body and everything, he looks very good at welterweight. You know, his body looks much more firm and stronger than even Damgaard.
Hey, look.
Very strong.
He's beating up a guy who's 28-0, has spent his whole career at welterweight, won the European welterweight championship.
This is a few seconds away from being stopped. If Gatti lands one more good punch, we might see at the end of the fight.
Let me repeat, 37-0 with 28 knockouts. That was the point I wanted to make. So he's annihilating a guy at close range who had won all of his previous fights and came here expecting to beat Arturo Gatti. And now he staggers him with the right hand, and Lindsey Page stops the fight. And once again, the hero rises.
The Gatti is mighty and shall prevail.
It was everything they wanted it to be.
I am impressed.
Well, that's why they call him a fighter.
Pure fighter.
Throwback fighter.
Epitome of a prize fighter.
Tony DeMarco, Carmen Basilio.
I think he tops all of those. He's been in more wars than all of them. And he still has that tremendous one-punch punching power.
Rocky Graziano, Jake LaMotta, Tony Zale. These are the kinds of fighters to whom you must compare Arturo Gatti.
This is fantastic. He's throwing power punches back and back.
Knocked him out with the right hand.
Yes, and keeping a distance between him as he's punching.
Knocked him out with what we think may be a broken right hand. Gatti closed the show. According to CompuBox, he landed 29 of 48 power shots in this last round of the fight. Good stoppage.
Good stoppage.
Guy's face was broken up. What a right-hand shot that was. And before Page even stopped it, the fans were already cheering the Gatti knockout. Buddy McGirt pulling the gloves off of his showcase fighter. And now Michael Buffer stands by the ropes with the official particulars on the TKO.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the official time, for this young man who came from defeated record, Thomas Damgaard. Let's give him a hand. Referee Lindsey Page calls a halt to the bout at 2 minutes, 54 seconds of round number 11. The winner, now a 3-time world champion in 3 different divisions. The ultimate blood and guts warrior from Jersey City, New Jersey, Arturo Gatti.